but I was all over the place. But there was a content creator who had made a video where she was talking about, and I should do a trigger warning before I begin this topic and just say that this conversation, we're going to be talking about a content creator who made a video about wearing wigs. But it wasn't just about wearing wigs. I feel like that's just like an innocuous way to kind of set it up. But the conversation was very much about how Black women in particular are wearing wigs and are addicted seemingly. And I don't know how this video found me. What a precious gem. But I watched the video and noticed that the comments were full of people who were talking very badly about wigs. And I want to just randomly interject, even though I know I just started the video, and just say, and just like share with you my wig journey, like just to kind of like give a backstory before I really get into this. But I feel like I've shared this story before, but back, like when I really think about doing my hair by myself, bitch, I used to go down to this shop and it was called like Fast Eddie's or some shit. And it was this like queer Latino man, very white looking. And he used to love seeing me, bitch. He used to rub his hands, bitch, because it's the way. You know what, Precious Gem? That's another aspect of this that I never even thought about. So thank you for saying that. But I remember, and I'm trying to talk about my wig weave journey because I feel like I don't want to start all the way from a child hair stuff. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to try to stay on topic. And so my first like weave journey, I was going to this Puerto Rican dude. He was selling me like the bundles, the tracks, and I was gluing it. And bitch, I was not gluing it well. I was trying to have leave out. I was trying to do a little emo bang with the wefts. I was trying really hard. And so again, at some point, I want to say I'm in the middle of dating my partner, my first boyfriend for real. And like, I just remember him trying to understand what was going on in my head. And it was around that time that I realized like, I got to do something different. Cause like, I had not been protecting my hair. I wasn't even like, babe, like, I can't even tell you how I used to do my hair because I don't do that shit no more. But I'm pretty sure I wasn't even braiding the hair down. Like, I'm pretty sure I was just, I think I was straightening the whole thing. Like, I think I was doing curling iron the whole thing. No heat protectant, no nothing really, just some grease, bitch, frying it and then gluing in pieces. And I wasn't even taking care to glue in a straight line. Like I was literally like putting the glue on the track and on my shit, high key. Listen. Then you know where I'm going with this, because I feel like only one thing can happen if you just putting the glue raw dogging on your head. At some point, I tried to use like the glue, like it was like the glue taker outer. It's like a white container because the glue container is black. The glue remover is white. And so I got the glue remover, and bitch, the way the glue, like even before that, the way that when I was trying to wash my hair, there were just sections of my hair that could not be washed because it was just a clump of glue and hair. And it was matted. And of course, nobody seen that shit, bitch, because like I would just glue some more hair on top of it. Listen, I'm telling this story because I think it might be necessary to just share where we've been and where we can go. You know what I mean? It's uplifting. So, anyways, so I used to just glue right onto my head. And at some point, I tried to take the glue out. Impossible. Impossible. No Whitney. No Mariah. It wasn't possible. And so I literally just remember, like, I'll never forget this day. Like, bitch, I mean, like, this is low key. Like, as someone that used to wear wigs and people were gagging for my wigs when I got into them, I just want to talk about Mother Genesis. I just again. My boyfriend had noticed I was watching Maury a lot. It's where I was, bitch. It's where I was. And so he had got me tickets to go see Maury, bitch, for no reason. So of course I went, and again I was gluing shit on my head. Went to the motherfucking Maury, and I'll never forget. I had seen this black woman walking with her friend. She was wearing a beautiful orange shirt, and her hairline, though it was undetectable, I was staring at her shit very hard, obviously, bitch, to get the information that I got. But I just remember looking at her hairline and just being like, that is like her hair looks amazing, but I could not tell. Like again, I don't know where you were when you first saw Lace Front for the first time, but that technology, like, bitch, I'll never forget this moment in my life is etched in my hippocampus. Indelible mark, bitch. I'll never forget this. I was looking at her hair and I just was like, and I remember I went home and I started Googling. I went home. I was like, wig. I was like, wig that looked like scalp. Wig that looked like real hair and scalp. And hair that looked like it could be coming out your head, but it's a wig. And that's when I found out the term lace front. And it was at that moment that I realized I too, bitch, the way that we had that weave combo the other day, that shit warmed my heart for real. Like it really melted all the cholesterol out, bitch. Cause like just talking about the weave names, like that shit was so cute. Cause I just feel like again, like you can't talk about weave and wig names with everybody. You can't talk about how the soul tress was soul tressing. You can't talk about that with everybody. The expression was expressed. You can't talk about that with everybody. That part. That part. You stopped at the helmet looking weaves. I'm screaming. Not you didn't get to the lace. Shut the fuck up. Princess. I'm so sorry. But like I don't know why that sentence just hit me like that. Like, just please know, like, you could do stand up, but you are probably sitting down. Like, the talent, because that sentence was nuts, bitch. Not the helmet wig. Listen, I feel like in the beginning of wigs, I feel like I went straight to lace front from track glue, and I feel like most people don't do that. Let's be real. Most people don't go from track glue to lace front, but I'm grateful I did because after I left Maury, I googled and I found out what a lace front was, and again, it's the way that like when I bought the lace front is when I did my first big chop, and I think my only big chop. I think I've only cut my side since, not the middle part, but bitch, that big chop. Nobody prepares you for how your head looks after you cut off like all your hair, like. I just feel like when you're a baby, you're bald and you don't see that, you know? Like I didn't realize like how much I look like a chicken nugget. Like I really didn't notice that I have the perfect features for a sweet potato. Like I just didn't understand that I look like a Hawaiian roll. And once all the hair was gone, I just had to and so I'm not gonna lie. Once I cut off all my hair because of glue damage and started going to lace fronts, you could not get me out of that lace front. Like the lace front became so important, so crucial. And to be candid, I feel like the lace front in the beginning, what a ride. Again, it's the ways that like I went from people knowing that something didn't add up with my hair. Like I remember people being like confused. Like I just remember people looking at my hair confused when I had the glue. Cause as I said, at some point it was getting away from me. In the beginning of the glue, you could hide it and part your shit. At some point in the glue damage, I was just gluing it in a circle. You know how people make a closure? I was closuring it on my shit. I was like this with the glue. And just spinning that bitch around, hoping it worked out, honestly, bitch, hoping. And so when I cut off the hair and I went to the lace front, it was like, whoa. But again, it's like in the beginning, the lace front became so important because like, baby, my hair was this big. And so I'm just like the lace front kept me warm. The lace front kept my secrets. The lace front could hide a snack. Honestly, depending on how big the cap is, bitch, you could put some stuff up in there. But with that being said, it's the way the wig it felt so comfortable. Bitch, the mango seed has me dead, bitch. Bitch, did you see the Kaya drag of Cardi B? Because honestly, when she said that bitch was aging like a mango seed, I wanted to throw up. Let's be honest, the lace front really keeps a lot. And then also, it's the way that it's the way like I feel like, again, I'm not trying to talk shit about myself. It's more that I feel like what I'm trying to do is just talk about how hair, like layers, long, voluminous, like it can change your face, it can change your body. Like a big piece of hair on a voluptuous person can really like kind of give you a silhouette. And so it's the way that I feel like I went from like just stringy kind of whatever fried looking like white girl dog hair extensions to like having shit that moved, bitch. Like, bitch, my shit moved, bitch. Like, that's the thing. Like, my shit didn't move. And I think about how even now, like when I have my natural out, like I want it to move, bitch. And I think about the ways that like hair is so, man, the science, man. But yeah, lace fronts gave me so much. And again, I feel like we talk about pretty privilege, we talk about beauty and desire, but I think about the ways that like 22 inches breaking you down or not. And again, I'm talking about where I was. Not saying I'm still there, but there are definitely moments where I would prefer a wig, which makes me think about a moment I was thinking about the other day when I was thinking about bell hooks. And I was thinking about how like, you know, I love seeing how she styles her hair, but I started thinking about how she was trying to show us how like you can be an adult and be professional and still wear your natural. And I don't think that we talk about her in that way as much, that like she would be having her straight backs, she'd be having her little mini braids, and she'd be like, anyways, bitch, this is professional. This is me as a doctor. Like, this is me as an author. This is me in my esteem, showing you who I am. And I don't have to hide or change or alter my hair too much to be in this room. And again, it's the ways that like it's hitting me in retrospect. And then at the time, I'm not even really paying attention that much. But now I think about conversations like I've heard some Black women say, you know, wigs make them feel like they were older, like they were graduated, like a wig signifies like, and it's a kind of coming of age. And low key, I know some girls that can't get weave until a certain age, and so that kind of correlates. And so again, so for some of us, it's more about, you know, feeling like you're becoming more polished. And again, I'm bringing all of this up because there was a conversation on YouTube where somebody was talking about Black women being addicted to weave. And I just want to explain that, like, there were times where I'm sure someone would think I was addicted to weave, but really I was terrified of anyone seeing my natural hair because it felt like it wasn't finished growing yet to a point to where I was comfortable sharing it with anyone. And I think about how some people may not hold that we all don't get, like, we don't all have hair ads on TV constantly reaffirming that our hair is beautiful. And I think about the ways that, like, even when you want to shop like for hair products for yourself, like think about buying shea butter. Are they showing you people that look like you? No, they're showing you a brick of fucking butter. Like, you think about that, like when white people get things sold to them, they're like, look at this white woman and she's just throwing her fucking hair and she's like on a fucking motorcycle and her lips are plumped and red. Like, they're telling you a story, actually, more than they're selling you something. They're selling you like she's selling you the product, but like you're just thinking about how the product must have helped her, but really you're captivated by her. Like, they find someone very captivating and then you're sucked in. And again, it's the ways that it's so rare to see somebody with like type 4C hair just being loved on in the hair ad. And so it's the ways that, just saying what I'm saying, like it's not like there's a big push outside of community for you as the person with type 4 hair to love your hair or to care for your hair. And even when we see someone like Beyonce create a product, it's the way that like this woman has, we know for a fact, used weaves and wigs, and it would be really cool if she would ever talk about the different technologies and things of that nature. But she won't do that because, unfortunately for us, it seems like to me with her sacred hair ad that she wanted to kind of like, again, I feel like only people that wear weaves and wigs would understand this concept. But walk with me here. You, as someone who wears weaves or wigs, may dye your hair, let's say black. When you get tired of maintaining your natural and you want to do something more protective, what are you gonna do? A black braid, a black marley, a black wig, and then the next style, you might have a little bit of grow out. You might go with it and pick a more natural color to your grown out hair, but you might also choose to do a skunk stripe. And then from there, who knows what you do? Maybe a fun braid style that straight backs with some weave added, who knows? But again, it's the ways that like as your hair shifts and changes, you will too. And so I'm thinking about how like in the sacred ad, I just think about the ways that she absolutely has her hair color treated and also whatever, so that it matches that blonde shit she been showing us since Cowboy Carter, Renesmee, whatever the fuck. And again, it's the ways that she altered her hair to sell you hair care products, which is what always gave me pause with the line, because it's like, sweetie, I want to see your natural. I don't want to see this processed shit that you're getting. Like, baby, I know they got a diamond mink baby hair spa. Like, sweetie, I want to see your shit growing the fuck out. I want you sitting down doing some bantus. And it's the way that like she's only paying random people to do this shit, which also gives me pause about what she really uses for herself. Excuse me, for herself. Because again, as I learn more about natural hair, the more I learn about just how many things are out there, natural products that are really good, like Camille Rose, come here. Come here. Mink, 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 mink. I honestly want to fuck up Camille Rose a little bit. I honestly want to beat her ass a little bit. I actually have a couple more, because that honey heritage hydration, this ugly bitch, she gonna have the nerve to take the motherfucking honey out. Why the fuck, bitch, the product called honey heritage hydration. Why the fuck did you take the honey out, bitch? Like, ask yourself that. I don't know, bitch. Like, you're sick. And then the bitch had the nerve to change the product and bitches didn't even know. Didn't even say shit. Exactly. And it was Manuka. Bitch, I found out about the Just For Me shit. I found out it was a bunch of mixed people. It was a bunch of mixed people. It was my people on them Just For Me boxes, and I was sick when I seen that shit. And it was sad because I remember somebody said that they just randomly wanted to figure out how, like, what the Just For Me hair people look like today. And that was a huge moment because I was like, whoa. Like, everyone was mixed. Everybody was talking about how right beforehand they had got a silk press or some shit. This one girl was like, they just put water in my hair. I was like, shut up. Because it's the way my mom permed my eyebrows and my motherfucking BDBs. And honestly, the way my hair texture is now compared to what my mom made me think it was, because that's another layer to this, is like some people really were projected on. Like, my mom had the nerve to tell me my hair was hard as a child. And in retrospect, like, bitch, my hair is so fucking soft. My hair is so soft because it's cared for. But it's the way this bitch really was touching my hair dry as fuck and was trying to make it seem like, oh, something's wrong with me. Exactly. I had Just For Me. I was Just For Me permed, and I remember my mom tried to tell me a story, but when I actually thought about it, it was really fucked up. Like, my mom had been getting me perms, and then she just stopped randomly, and I wasn't used to my natural texture. I was used to the permed hair. And so I started feeling away because my mom was basically telling me, like, I'm not going to pay to make your hair look like how it's been looking for years. I'm going to just let you grow your shit out. And like, I don't know about y'all, but having like your grow out and your perm hair, I didn't know how to handle that. So I cut that shit off. I know that sounds crazy, but my mom had gave me some dookie braids and I just looked in the mirror and was like, I'm not going to school like this. And I cut off all my fucking hair. I don't know what that's called when you grow out your perm and just decide you don't want your hair no more. But that happened to me as a child. And my mom tells the story like I was being a bad, defiant child. And it's like, no, bitch, I was being texturous towards my fucking self. I clearly hated how the fuck my hair looked because of you, bitch. Like that, some of the stories our parents be telling, it's like when you really think about it, it's like, bitch, not you got me so caught up in the permed hair that I think my hair is no longer worthy. That's not good. But that's the thing. My mom really wasn't caring for me. Like, I feel like that's the thing. Like, when you don't care for people's hair, it's going to be feeling like it's dry, brittle. Like again, my hair is very like my hair is also fine. That's another layer to this is I have fine textured hair, meaning that my strands aren't thick. So I have to do a lot. Like doing a braid style like this means my hair is going to be really big when it comes out because of all of the intricate weavings of the braids. So with that being said, my hair is not big. My hair has never really even been super, super long. I feel like the longest I ever got it was like bra strap length. So with that being said, my hair never really looked like a challenge. It just looked like she just didn't have the patience to deal with it. My mom's hair is also like a 2C. So she was like a pink lotion and doing literally a two-strand twist down the side, a two flat twist. My mom is a two flat twist and a curl at the end type bitch. She literally looked like olive oil. So she wasn't about to sit there and part nobody hair. The most she ever bought was maybe some softy. Like she would be good for some grease. And I remember talking to somebody about how like I was over here putting some damn grease on my head and then a damn velvet wrapped motherfucking curling iron. Like, bitch, I weep. I weep at my hair. Meryl Streep, you're a bad bitch. It is sad, but again, think about the things that you'll do. Like, I don't know about some of y'all, but like, I'm sure there have been times, perhaps, where you couldn't get to the hair store, where you couldn't afford to get the hair you really wanted, and you had to look how you really look. Again, there's all types of traumatic stories that come with wearing weaves and wigs, but I think the biggest trauma to me is never having the opportunity to love my hair. And I feel like that's something that like your parents must make space for, especially if you're a young child of color, especially when you're a black child. Like there's just so many layers to care and support for hair and just your body. And again, there's nobody else who has hair like this. And so it's the ways that like, and even when I say this, like I have mixed textures in my hair. So again, I'm not even fully talking just about myself. I'm trying to broaden it just to acknowledge that like there are people that are, that are not black people, but definitely do have type 4 hair. However, with that being said, it's the ways that I want to just hold that like people who have the most marginalized hair texture, the 4CZ and XQ. I just want to hold that like that experience is one that I clearly don't know about. And so I don't want to speak to it. But what I will say is when you don't have an opportunity to love on your hair or be close to your hair or even fuck it, see your hair being loved on in a particular way, it just feels very like, I feel sometimes like some of the things I've had to like teach myself or build within myself, it's just like, damn, bro, like I really could have used that support when I was younger. And so there are definitely times where I get really like sad because I'm just like, damn, like I'm older, like figuring out how to care for myself, which is a celebration moment, but it's still a sad moment at the same time. And then I get really happy because I see things like, there's this community, I want to say in Mozambique, and they've decided that it's important for children at school to learn about their hair, which is so important to me because it's like, imagine if we learned about each other's hair, like as part of like curriculum, as part of like community building. And like basically the idea is like black children go to a place and they have like a party and they get to experiment with like different barrettes, different scarves, different like braiding techniques. And I want to say like it's like once every month, like they get to meet up and just play with their hair. But it's like, can you imagine what the world would be like if we all sat with each other while we cared for our hair and learned together? What a different environment that would be, wouldn't it? It like why would we ever talk about anybody hair looking any kind of way? Wouldn't we then, like, if we're all so aware, wouldn't we all be able to again share with each other? Wouldn't you reach out and say, hey, like I like that color, I have an idea for an application that might work if you're interested in seeing it. Like there's ways to suggest support that don't look like, bitch, let me fucking help you. Like let me fix your shit. Like it don't even gotta be all that, but it's like, wouldn't we have different ways of communicating about how to support? And so it just makes you think about the new earth and just like how there are people already building it. There are people already realizing like the children need to touch their hair when they're little with other people witnessing doing the same thing. So it's normal to be with yourself in all your ways and also to make silly hair mistakes. Like this is too many barrettes, like these are too many braids. Like your hands are going to be tired. Maybe we don't ever do that many again. Like little things like that. Like sometimes I get carried away. Like bitch, I did way too little braids, and I'm very mad. But I'm not gonna fix it. But again, it's like, who would I be if I was younger and I got to learn? I'm grateful I got to teach myself how to take care of my hair, but I feel like even learning those skills, man, the burning yourself, the bleachings. Honestly, if you're your own stylist, bitch, I honestly give you so many kudos because, like, bitch, like, you are your own client. Like, you could give yourself a fucked up. Like, that's the worst part about being your own stylist. You could really give yourself a fucked up, and, like, motherfuckers be like, who did that? And you're like, you just gotta make up a name like Jay Peterson Salon. Yeah, it was the Altoid Brigadish. Yep, I'm just gonna make up names of people and just say it's a salon. That's who did it to me. That's who fucked me up. And you saying that permed hair is like very fragile, and it makes me think about how when my hair was permed, people would like compliment my hair so much, and I think that's also why I cut my hair when my perm was growing out. My mom wasn't gonna like get it re-upped. Like I just remembered. Like I just don't think people think about like how people get roasted. Like I remember like one of the first styles I figured out how to do was like two puffs and like some braids around the perimeter of my head. I still think it's a cute style, but people used to make fun of me. And it's like there was no other style I knew how to do, and my mom did not like she wasn't doing my hair. Like she was just my mom, like it's unfortunate, but I feel like my mom got stuck in the she's a child shit. And so she over here trying to put beads and bubbles on shit. And it's like, sweetie, I'm 12. Like it's past that. Like I feel like you could do a couple beads, a couple bubbles, but it's the way she wanted me to look like Kenya doll out there, bitch. And I was getting called that. So it's like it's the way that people always was roasting my hair. Like I just remember as a kid, that was the biggest thing, me being fat and my hair, the two biggest things that people always would roast me about. And it's like, bitch, I don't even get to pick this. Like I would try to feel my hair while my mom was doing it. She'd pop me with the comb. And I'm like, what's the point of hitting me while I'm trying to figure out, is your line steady, bitch? Like I'm trying to figure out if the line work is hitting bitch and you're hitting me. Like that's crazy. But again, it's the way that like that was my first stylist, a hater, with a different hair texture than me. And again, somebody wrote in the comments that they don't trust like light skinned people to cut their hair as a black person. And I thought that was really fascinating. And they like felt bad because they're like, I know it's probably colorist, but like they're like, I don't really trust people that's light skinned. And I was like, that don't sound colorist to me. Like that sounds protective as fuck. Like again, you literally just said a light skinned person cut the fuck out of your hair and played with you. And like it was just all these stories that were coming out about people that were non-black harming black women who had long hair. And it was just like, just imagine thinking that you're a bad person because you start noticing a pattern of people harming you. It's like, no. Your mom said your mom permed your hair before 5. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. That's really fucking fucked up. Like, yo, like I just seen a little baby getting their hair permed on Instagram, and that shit really made me cry because I was just like, how do you truly People don't understand the word precious. Like, they just don't understand the word precious. And it's so tragic in retrospect. Because, like, some of the things we have to know about our medical history, because, like, that's part of, like, ugh. I just think about how toxic the world is already. And it's like, this baby just got here. 13 years, bitch. Hey. And again, it's like, what does that, like, I don't know. I just really wonder, like, what our parents think when they make these big permanent ideas. Because perming somebody's hair is not a one-time thing. At some point, I would have had to give up the creamy crack, right? But it's the way that I still wanted my hair to be permed clearly if I was straightening it as bad as I was. And then when I found that curly joint, them curly wigs, bitch, them curly wigs. Had me caught up in them curly wigs. 3 or 4 year old hair. And again, like, you were a baby. So it's like, how much maintenance did you really need? Like, like honestly, like, it blows me. It's like y'all wasn't thinking about. And again, it's the way, like, I think about when my hair was permed, and it's the way my mom took so much more care of me, so much better care, like I was a doll, you know? Like, it's like once she had my hair permed, and I was born in '89, so she loved putting a little 1990s little hat on me, bitch. They love putting a little hat on the baby. She stayed putting me in a little motherfucking French chapeau, bitch. Stayed trying to have me look mad fucking like a damn, like, again, she stayed trying to make me look like a photograph and, like, wasn't considering, like, the person. And I think about stuff like that when I hear about people getting their hair permed. It's like, who was that for? Who needed to see the hair like that? Oh my God. Meryl Streep, I'm so grateful that you lived to tell this fucking tale, bitch, because it's the way, like, I don't know if you were experimenting with this as well, but when you were, like, using the Vaseline, it made me think of the time that I realized if I put a bunch of grease in my hair was almost straight. And I remember putting so much softy grease in my fucking hair, like, so much to where it changed the texture of my hair. But really, my hair was just like my hair loves oil, like, it loves it so much. But when it's moisturized, but because I was, like, straight out of, like, the shower, I think, like, the water in my hair plus the softy grease was, like, combining in a way that was gross, and my hair felt disgusting. Like, I didn't feel good, but there was just something about all that fucking grease in my hair, and it just felt like I was figuring my hair out, which makes me sad because, like, I wasn't. But again, it's the way that, like, clearly from this conversation, like, these are the things that happen when you're trying to figure out, like, you know, how to maybe not look your best, but figure out how to work with what no one is talking about, which is why I brought up that hair school or that hair day where, like, they play with their hair, because it's like, when did you play with your hair as a kid? And it's like, what was it feeling like? Because it felt like, to me, sometimes fun, but most of the time it would end in me just feeling like, let me just go do something else and not think about it. Like, I feel like putting the tracks in my hair, putting the wigs in my hair, like, a lot of it was to forget about the ways I wasn't caring for my hair, how I didn't know what to do. And again, as I keep learning, even to this day, as a 35-year-old person, how to care for my hair, what's the best thing for my hair, I'm also sitting with the reality that, you know, I wasn't just wearing wigs to hide. Like, there were so many times where a wig was a color or a texture or a style that I didn't want to maintain forever. It was just a temporary bit of fun. Also, wigs double as hats. Some people don't realize this, but this winter, bitch, I'm getting a wig for warmth, okay? Some people don't realize this. Even a half wig can provide some warmth. Just think about it. For those of you who don't really like hats, a wig may work. Just offering that. Also, I think that some people don't realize, like, you don't, like nobody has to wear a wig, but there are going to be some people who feel like they do. And I wish we would not shame them. I wish we would remember a time where we were grateful that we had a wig, a braids, a weft, something because it worked for the moment. And again, it's the ways that some conversations I'm seeing unfolding are very much trying to make Black women feel bad for wearing texture that's not theirs. But I want us to hold that, like, as I continue to say, no one Black owes anyone anything. If you're Black and you want to wear white hair, blonde hair, that really doesn't tell us anything about you. But again, I want us to consider how lookism is part of anti Blackness. The idea that we can look at someone and automatically know something by certain behavior. There's only so much that is facts, and a lot of it may be opinion, projection. And I just hope that we sit with that. That sometimes, when we look at people and we think something's there, something might really be missing in us. And we can't see that person, but we're trying really hard. And maybe we're trying in a direction that affirms something in us that makes us maybe feel superior, smarter, like we know something in the know. I just want us to consider like what our behavior is leading us to do next. Because some of us will really look at someone and think that their weave, their wig, their middle part, their bust down tells us something, and really that's the style of the moment. But it's much easier to think that that Black woman doesn't like herself. But here's what's more important though. If you think someone doesn't like themselves based on something that they're putting on their body, wouldn't that be a moment to pause and consider how you speak to them or speak about them? If you really perceive that they're hurting and in pain, why would you want to cause them more? I really want some of y'all to really think about the goal of your message, the goal of your video, because the video that I watched, and I'm not sharing the creator, I'm just having a conversation with y'all, it really felt like the desire was to tell Black women, it's sad that you're addicted to wigs. When all I think is, thank God that someone can get the relief that they need from maybe working all fucking day. Maybe all you really got is braiding your hair down and putting on the hair hat. I've been there, bitch. And so it's wild to me to see anyone who has ever worn wigs, wefts, weaves, whatever, and try to make it seem like everyone has the same story. Wouldn't that be very fucking convenient? And I also think it's funny that like now, ever since like I've been able to grow out my hair using wigs and braids and all textures, all different types of textures. Even if I stuck with one texture, that wouldn't tell you anything about me and where I'm at. But it's the ways that like we look at people and we decide, oh, they're wearing a wig. Yeah, I was wearing a wig because my hair was destroyed from glue damage. I was very, very, very upset about having a crumb of hair on my whole head. And I really didn't want to go outside looking like that. Funny enough, when my hair was this big, I was the most famous online for being beautiful. But why? Because I was wearing in my opinion, a tool, a beauty tool. That's what I think of about a wig. I don't think about it just as style. I think about how beauty takes tools, right? And I want you to think about the tools you have in your home right now for beauty. Some of you have corsets. Some of you have heels. Some of you have fishnet thigh highs. Some of you have things that when you put them on, people treat you differently. And I think about how some of us don't have to do any more experimentation. We know exactly what it means when we put that wig on, what's going to happen next. Some of us know. And for the people that haven't found out yet, I want you to remember when you see them and they just found out about wigs, they just found out about longer hair. Just remember that dopamine hit, bitch, of getting some fresh bundles. Just remember that dopamine hit of that package from motherfucking Amazon hitting that GLS 59, that free dress. Like, don't forget that. Don't forget that excitement of, bitch, I'm going burgundy for the next 3 months or however long this style lasts to me. Just remember that, because there's so many people so caught up in trying to go natural that they're forgetting that there are going to be people that wear all different types of hairstyles, and that doesn't tell us anything about them. Rats. It's almost like we have to get to know people to know who the fuck they are and why they do what they do. Rats. It's almost as if you have more stories than the one I could tell by looking at you, huh? Again, it's uncomfortable to sit with this because it just feels like everyone wants an easy way to compartmentalize everything. Red or blue, boy or girl, this or that, and there's many truths. And the age of Aquarius is so loud. It's so loud. Like, you can really be talking to someone and just watch their thought process jump off a fucking cliff, and they're gonna go with it. They're gonna jump off the cliff with their thoughts. And you're supposed to be reasonable. It's very insane. Like, we're in a very insane time. People will say the most eugenics based shit, and you're supposed to be like, well, I actually have a counter argument that you're not gonna fucking listen to because you're gonna actually decide to call me a dumb bitch in about 3 minutes. Like, it feels so silly right now to be fighting with people. That's why I'm not doing it. No God, no God. If I can't talk to you, bitch, if I can't be the fat kid, if I can't be the fat caterpillar on Alice in Wonderland, and we AEIOU, if we can't AEIOU, I don't want to do it. Nope. Just leave me on this motherfucking toadstool. Oh, my bitch Sierra. We need more and better conversations around here. True. Being the stylist and the client. This was a common in the Black community early 2000s and back, but now I feel like many Black American communities are so fractured and isolated. It'll definitely be uphill. You said my mother gave my sister an Al Sharpton curl. No, but do you remember like the first time you ever like tried to do some heat shit to your hair? I just feel like it's gotta be some sort of canon event that like the first time you put some heat on your hair, you just gotta give yourself that mushroom church curl. Like, I don't know what that is, but there was no ringlets, bitch. It's like for some reason I just went mushroom, mushroom, mushroom throughout the whole shit for some reason. The precious gem, I think that that's what's organically happening. Like, the more Black girls and Black women share their stories about hair and things that have happened, I think we're seeing it. Like, I think it's going to be very uncomfortable for the next few years because we're still in the beginning of Age of Aquarius. Like, it says it takes like years, it takes ages, like a few hundred years to get going. And if you think about the one we just left, right? Think about Age of Pisces. Pisces is I believe. Think about belief. Think about how powerful it is. Think about how believing something can really push people to do so many things. Like, believing in something. Think about certain religious beliefs, certain political beliefs. Think about how strong they used to feel, how concrete. I think it's very clear at this point there's no right or wrong. I think there's genocide, white supremacy. Like, it's not about dichotomy anymore for me. And again, the two fish, Pisces, like, we're leaving the idea that there's two sides. Aquarius is literally carrying water, literally deciding that life is more important. Life is the most important thing. After two fish swimming, and people say that like Aquarius is holding the cup that the Pisces is swimming in, and it makes me think about how Pisces may look from the outside looking in. You see two fish swimming in what could be an ocean, a river. Bitch, it's a cup. And then that makes you really think about what the cup really means if I believe is spinning in a cup for eternity. Again, it's the ways that some of us might not want to hold this, but some of the ideas that people hold from Age of Pisces are ideas that are only possible in a vacuum. So the idea that white people are the best is only possible in a cup. Outside the cup, it's very obvious for a lot of us who are not in that cup of white people are the best. Like, again, it's the ways that like in Age of Pisces, certain ideas kept you outside of the cup. And at this point, we're in age of Aquarius, where we're now having to hold that the cup is actually a setup. Like if someone is holding what you're inside of, if you're in a closed system, if you're in a system that tells you that it's Monday, that you're a woman, that this means white, this means black, like if you're in a society that is psychologically operating on you, what you might think is your free will to believe whatever the fuck you want may actually have you realizing you are stuck in something that you cannot get out of. Every thought equals the other one. So yeah, you want to go to the blue side, and then you're like, oh no, Democrats are just regular fucking people. Oh no, Republicans are people that have been traumatized and abused, obviously, into an idea that is harming even them. Again, it's the way that there is no sides. And you actually have to get the fuck out the cup. You cannot stay in the cup. You must hold that there's somebody outside pulling the strings, putting you there. And again, to some people, I'm going to seem insane. And I have to hold that in this time, the people that have a lot to say, they're going to be bullied, because there are going to be a lot of people that want to get back in that cup. Bad as fuck. They don't want to hold that like we're zoomed out. Like, Pisces has us zoomed in, thinking we're fighting. Someone's fighting, someone's winning, someone's losing. Aquarius has us considering, why are there only two options? Why is there only win or lose? Looking for that third option. That is why Age of Aquarius gonna fuck up some people, because they're gonna fight hard as fuck to be back in a cup. They wanna be in a circle. They wanna know that they're right because they're on this side of the fence. They need that. Some people really need to feel like they're better, separate, above. They need that because that tells them who they are in the cup. If they're better than you, then they're the good fish. They're the good fish. So only good things should happen to the good fish. Anything bad that happens to the fish, oh, that's the devil. But again, you pull back and you're like, wait, hold on. So we live in a society that hates black people? How can anyone win? We live in a society that hates poor people? How can anyone ever have their resources met if we're constantly like concentrating harm on people that have the least? Like, again, the system doesn't make sense. So you can't ever have one side or the other be the winner or the loser. There's a lot of losers. I think that's the saddest part about Age of Aquarius, is how many people don't want to let go of what was all losses. There were so many losses. But if you think that you're winning, if you think you might win a little bit over here, if you can contextualize how you're a winner, you can stay in that cup forever. And some of us are outside the cup just waiting for y'all to join us, because it is lonely out here watching people fight about this or that. Should you do 50-50 dates? Why does that matter? Leave people alone. But people want to be, like, you can see it still online, people wanting to fight for this or that. There's no need. I'm sorry, I'm on a fucking tangent. You said you've seen people put weave in their child's hair. I mean, again, I feel like I'm trying to focus on the fact that, like, for someone to put weave in a baby's hair, I don't want to take away from the agency that adult has to like get therapy and like unlearn, but I also want to hold that like some people's family really the projection on the babies, because it's like why does the baby need anything, you know? Even my mom piercing my ears when I was younger, there's a part of me that wonders, like, I have so many questions and I don't want to talk to her, but there's so many times where I wonder, like, was I, like, and this is my own little random theory, it's not founded in anything, but there's times where I wonder if I am an intersex person, and if my mom went so hard to like make me look like a girl because maybe I'm not, like, maybe like I was always like someone who isn't necessarily one or the other, And my mom wanted to make sure people knew I was a girl. Cause like again, I just remember people telling me that their parents piercing their ears when they were really young. And like my ears got pierced when I was like weeks old, which I feel like is strange as fuck. But again, like letting someone at a mall pierce your baby's fucking ears, letting someone put chemicals on your baby's head, like it's like what society like would create the climate where you would think that your baby needed or wanted that. Like that's scary. But again, I would rather shame the climate than look at that black person and be like, oh, they're a bad person. I think it's more that like there are some black people who think like they're going to be their child is going to get the love that they didn't. Like I think I shared this before that like I found this guy on Bumble and I was just swiping with abandon. I wasn't really paying attention, but he had written something like the prompt was like what would make the world a better place, and he had written more interracial kids. And I remember thinking to myself, that's weird as fuck, but I remember thinking like, you know, I wonder who's gonna say anything to him. Because people do be agreeing that mixed children, mixed people fucking other different races is gonna stop anti-blackness, and it's not true. The idea that mixing is gonna stop it. And you know what's even wilder? There are racists who are like it's wild. It's like that idea that race mixing is gonna stop anti-blackness is one of the reasons, or not one of the reasons, but part of white supremacy. Like their fear of being eradicated totally sets it up to where, see, if everybody's race mixing, how are we gonna be white? And it's so crazy. But then meanwhile in the black community, it's like, see, if we keep fucking different races, we're gonna make so many different black people. And it's just like, what an idea. Again, instead of shaming the individuals, I'd rather just look at the ideas as like a strange thing, but also consider how people got there. We don't live in an environment that's going to create stable-minded people. Like we live in an environment that is meant to break you, like, and destroy you in so many ways, and then make you feel worse when you start to unlearn what you've done. Like it's really sick, but like this society will have you doing the most, and then feeling like you gotta hide from society, like because you made too many mistakes. Meanwhile, mean the fuck wow. Bitch, endocrine system. Shaming a baby for a bald spot is evil. I'm grateful that you stood up to you stood up to your mom though, Trilly, because that's probably not easy. Like I don't know what that's like to tell my mom she couldn't do something to my body. Like that's bravery as hell. But I'm grateful you shared that story, because again, it's the ways that like for some of us we're like, damn, could we even say like don't touch me? Like I think about that aspect of being a child, that like there's times where you're not supposed to say, or you're not allowed to say, like, or you're not allowed to have bodily autonomy, especially when it comes to shit like getting a perm, which is again, it's like the perm is for your parent. It wasn't about you, which makes it even more sick in retrospect. It's like all the things my mom did to like beautify me as a baby. And then it's like, as I started getting fatter, I just noticed her like not liking me as much. And and also the way that like when my neck, like me and my mom have the same neck, only I have melanin. So my neck isn't clear like hers. Like she has the same folds as me, but I also have hyper pigmentation. And it's the way my mom would make sure, she'd be like, put Noxzema on your neck. She would go crazy on me to put Noxzema on my neck. She hated this part of my body. And I think about how this is the darkest part of my body. And my mom bought a special cream to make sure my neck was lightened. And it's just like, who's that for? And I remember as a kid just feeling like ugly as fuck and feeling like I have like a fucked up neck or some shit. And like in retrospect, it's like she really could have just, gave me some regular lotion. You feel me? Like, it's the way my mom never took me to no dermatologist. She just decided my pancake neck, something was wrong with it. And it's like, no, I just have hyperpigmentation, bitch. That's it. Wigs are also a new personality, a new life experience. Meryl Streep, you better talk about it. Meryl Streep, you're on a roll. I appreciate you for being here. You always give. Just thank you. And also, Precious Gem, I see you in here. I see you giving. I appreciate you. And truly, as always. But Meryl, the wigs are a new personality. Wow. I'll never forget where I was. That GLS 59 bitch. Like, bitch, that blonde Beyonce wig I used to wear. Bitch, I wore that wig so hard that the person that I was buying it from, me and them had an agreement that I would just send them money on PayPal. Like, they had, like, their store had like flopped. Their online store was no longer, but they still could get me a GLS 59 if I asked them. And so at that point, I was just PayPaling with a note in the PayPal, like GLS 59, here's my address. And they was getting me together. But one day they were like, bitch, can't fulfill that order. It's done. I tried to find her the other day, bitch, but it's for the best I don't find her again. To be honest, I feel like, I don't know. I think I'm going to just do some Marleys or some faux locks or something. But I feel like my hair is not as light as I want it to be. Like, it's light, don't get me wrong. But I think I want a little bit more orangina. But I think I'm gonna just chill. I feel like maybe by my birthday I'll have pink hair. Who knows? But I just really want to go for something super. Like, I look, you want to try to make it OD long, bitch. Like, I look, you want to try to connect them, bitch. I look, you want to connect a couple Marleys, bitch, and have my shit be OD long. But I'm scared because, like, when your hair is OD long, it do go in your booty crack. And so I just don't want that. I don't want no Marley in my booty. The bitch, not a wig and a Scully, bitch. I'm screaming. I feel you on the wig and the Scully, though, bitch. Like a Scully and a wig. Extra security, bitch. It's not going nowhere. Set it and forget it. Listen, I think that, like, being able to wear different hairstyles every day is so sexy. Like, I think about, like, the show One on One and the friend spirit, and just how I loved her style so much because it just felt very alt and very boho. But again, it's like, how many girls do we have like that? Like, how many do we see? And so I'm thinking about, like, just the ways that, like, sometimes, like, the next hairstyle is like in your mind. It's in a comic book, maybe it's in something cute. Truly, I love you. Thank you so much. That 227 mushroom curl, that tootie. Woo! Nini, not the mushroom is the tradition in the black community. You're adorable. You're not wrong. And also creating different people as though the oppressor won't find specific ways to oppress them as well. Indeed. You can still be racist and sleeping with another person from a different race. The ideals are still ingrained in you already. Okay, princess. Excuse me, precious gem. My bad for calling you princess. I did get to a point with my mother where I did go to school with my hair unkempt because she was a menace with a brush. Ooh, I feel like I don't even brush my hair like that anymore. Like, I feel like I do a finger detangle, or I do a comb or a pick at most. But I feel like, I don't know about you, but I just feel like because my hair was treated so poorly by myself and others, I just feel like I'm choosing to, like, be so gentle with it. Like, I'm just choosing to be so much more loving than I've ever been with my hair. Okay, Witch Hazel and Palmer's fade cream on the neck. And see, hear me out. I feel, oh, bitch, Witch Hazel. Damn. Damn, you just brought me back. I just thought that shit was weird smelling water for the longest time. I thought that shit was a trick. But yeah, no, again, it's the ways that, like, growing up, like, just the ways that, there's just the things that your mom, you ever notice that the things your mom focused on about your ugliness, about what you're not looking? Bitch, wait, I'm the body brushes. The body brushes. I'm here for a body brush because, bitch, the way the skin be piling up on the legs, on the feet, I'm pro brush. But low key, bitch, that African bath net. Baby, shout out to the African Bath Net when they put me on. Oh, the ear piercing of infants? Really? Good to know. Good to know. I'm not sure if other people have had their ears pierced when they were like weeks old, but I find that very distressing personally. Just because it's like anything can happen with a piercing. I just feel like anything can happen with a piercing. I don't know why you would chance it with a baby, but I remember somebody telling me recently that they would never pierce their baby ears. They're like, if my baby wants their ears pierced, then we'll figure that out. But and I just remember somebody else saying like, oh, well, I want my daughter to be able to wear earrings whenever she wants. I don't want her to have to wait to wear earrings. And it's like, but what if she don't even like earrings? What if she's a stud and like really is like butch as fuck and don't like earrings at all? Like again, it's the ways that some people don't consider like what people will want to do. But me personally, if I didn't have my ears pierced, I don't know that I would have. I probably would have done that by myself by now because I was piercing a lot of shit. I like gave myself a Monroe. I was kind of crazy, but for the most part, I feel like earrings are fun. Don't get me wrong. Would I pay the cost? Fuck no, definitely not. Not at this point. Ooh, not brushing your, not brushing from the neck. That distressed me. I just feel like I'm just at such a level with my hair and my body that I just can't even imagine all the other shit that motherfuckers was doing and trying to put me through. That's depressing as hell. Whoa. Wait, what? What coffee water? Tell me more. Tell me more, Sierra. Cause I'm shook. Is coffee water a thing? Mm. Listen, I did not know people were doing that, but I know that like my when my doctor saw me, like he was kind of shook and was like, "Girl, it's kind of soon." But it's funny, like my mom will always be laughing at all the medical professionals who would be telling her that what she did was kind of crazy. And it's just like, I hate to say this, but the fact that my mom is a nurse and the fact that she doesn't really have respect for bodily autonomy, like it's like the way that the nurses be just nursing. I had no idea people were brushing people's hair with coffee water. That is fascinating as fuck. Yeah, no, my mom being a nurse, it actually hits because, like, let's be real. No shade to any nurses here. If you fit the stereotype, though, like, it's probably why you're here, bitch. Like, no shade. Like, let's be real. Like, let's just have a good time. No shade, no shade, no shade. But the fact that my mom like is a nurturer by trade, but is not nurturing is insane. But at the same time, I'm just trying to also hold that like whiteness is a hell of a drug because it's like that lady don't even look nurturing, but she's white. No, tell me more. Also, unrelated to fucking everything slightly, but when that person came in earlier and like said my mom's address, first of all, that's not even her address. Number two, can you imagine posting somebody like deadbeat mom address? Like, I don't know what you even think I'm gonna do with that. Like, I just don't know what they want at this point. It just seems like they just want to be shocking in the chat. Kudos. Thank you. Again, just thank you for this month's AdSense. Just thank you, cause again, it's the way. Yeah, they posted my mom address in the last video, and it was awkward as hell because it's not gonna be in there because we blocked them. But it was just very much a vibe of Like they were just talking in the chat, like we were all cool or whatever. Like they were asking me tarot questions and shit. Like they had just asked me about if I have a natural ability to read tarot. And I was like trying to explain that like I've been studying tarot since I was a young child. Like I've loved the idea of tarot astrology for a while, but I just didn't have access. My family very religious. Like they even made the remark that my mom is very must be very Christian if I couldn't bring my tarot cards to her house. And then like they randomly just posted an address and it wasn't my mom's address, but they like really thought that it was. And it was just awkward because it's like, but what do we do now? You know, like I'm not cool with her, but also that's not her address. Like every time this person, like every time someone tries to say that they know where someone lives or something, it's like they're getting names right for sure, but they're not getting addresses right. But it's even more weird because it's like, dude, like I don't care. Like it's not working. You try to talk to Dane's mom, she don't care. You try to talk to a lot of people, they don't care. Maybe just focus on how much you care about my channel and just, just be normal. She found fam from recording at the Apple store. Oh, I remember her. Endangered her niece. Oh, damn. Not Apple store queen. Wow. The internet is crazy. Like what lore, you know? I don't know. I'm grateful to be a boring ass person, but this stalker person is like more boring than me because it's like imagine looking up where an old lady that like is abusive like lives. Like what? What a time to be alive, you guys. Like I'm genuinely like not sure what to do with this information. Like I think I'm gonna just keep on fucking living. Good God, like this is anticlimactic as fuck. Like I wish my stalker would just fight me. You know what I mean? Like let's just meet up somewhere. Like it just feels like it's just time to fight. Cause like you want to find my mom? Even I don't want that. Like that's the line you crossed for me trying to find this bitch. Like we just gotta fight at this point because you over here trying to tell me where my op is living at, and I genuinely don't care. But what's worse is I've known where this bitch has lived for 10 years. She hasn't moved. And she ain't where the fuck you said. So it's like, dang, like you get sending false information and you trying to find my op. Right. I'm saying like I'm so bored at this storyline. It's so boring. Again, I just want my stalker, please. Just one note, just please. Just, just go masturbate maybe. Like do some crack. Like just something, please. Cause you're so worried about me and my coochie. And again, I'm loving the engagement. But I'm so bored, girl. Like honestly, it's not even a good storyline. Like you trying to find people that really don't give one fuck. I really do wish that my mom was more of a bad bitch because I wish my mom would cuss this person out because I know that they would tell me about it. But my mom is too much of an Aquarius to even talk to anybody who she thinks may be an op of hers or mine. Like that's the thing about my mom that I love is like if someone ever came to her and told her I was doing this shit, they would just block you off GP. Like that's the beautiful thing about my mom is like she a psycho, but like she would not try to play with me. Telling my truth, like she could not like what I'm saying, but she knows I'm not lying, and I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that she don't want to bother. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, just come fight. Like, let's just beat each other up. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I'm so ready. But I'm a dip. I literally just wanted to come and talk shit about how people are trying to make it seem like black women wearing wigs or weaves is weird. And I think what's weirder is like focusing on black women doing anything and like just not minding your fucking business. Like it's so free. It's free to do this. But yet we live in a world where people really want black women to justify why they do this or that. And then as if there's not 1,000 reasons why somebody would wear weaves. And also the thing that annoys me the most about this wig weave combo is like, yo, so many people wear hair enhancements, beauty tools, so many people. And yet like there's such a focus on black women wearing what? Non-black textures. I just feel like there's something about that for me that's so wild because it's like when other folks, like when white people get dreads, there ain't no motherfucking think piece from the white community about them. Like I just find that fascinating. And I feel like that's the other layer to this is like there are black folks that have many questions because again, the world seemingly, like not even seemingly, the world is anti-black. But black folk frequently, from what I've seen online, like I've seen so many black people write like, what did we do? And it fucks me up to think that there are young black people who are asking the internet, what did black people do to deserve white supremacy or to be talked about like how they are? And it's again, I be in the comments trying to like send links to information so they're aware that like this is not anything y'all did. But again, there's just so many younger black folks that really do believe that like they did something, that black people did something. And then here goes Christianity, ugly ass, talking about motherfucking, oh, black people came from Ham, Ham was cursed and like just again, it's so wild to think about how like these conversations about hair be seeming so fucking innocuous, but then you think about it and like there are younger black people who wonder, is something wrong with my hair? And then they read about the curse of Ham and may really think that that's part of it. Like I've really heard people say shit like that, really connect the Bible to black people's historical pain and not in human degradation in white on, not even just white on black crime or white on black harm, but non-black on black harm. And just the broadness of that and the ways that everyone else tries to stay in line under white supremacy, aka reacting and operating anti-blackly. So again, it's the ways that I don't just turn on my camera to talk shit and just be a silly goose. I also am trying to hold that like some conversations aren't being had yet. That's why they're uncomfortable, not because they shouldn't be had. And so I'm hoping that folks hold that like there's probably some conversation you need to broach the topic of or bring up to some people, but probably never seen it done before. That's not your fault. Like that's not a problem. And that's also not a moment to like, disconnect, like maybe dig deeper. Like, what are you scared of? Like who has made you maybe question bringing this up? That may help you start to realize that there are people that are operating in a way that they feel like you should just know. Like you should be understanding. You should be moving a certain way. I just wish more people would slow down and ask why, because you're going to find that some people just want you to do something because it's going to benefit them. Not because it's going to benefit you, not because it's going to make you happier, but because it's going to fit within their projection on what you should do. And shit, sometimes you find that person wants you to do something just so they can posture above you, just so they can look down on you, just so they can say that they know something about you. And it's so bizarre. Like white supremacy is a big ass trick to make everybody think that like something is wrong with black people. Meanwhile, while anybody thinks like that, we're failing to think, who told us that? Like again, it's the Piscean being in the cup and the world is so small and so you're constantly reacting. What happens when you're not reacting and you're actually analyzing and pulling back and looking at who wrote this? Who had the power at the time? Who is invested in this story and why? What benefits do they get from me being below and them being above me? I just want more people to consider, please, because we have a big conversation to have soon. We do. We need to talk about, unfortunately, very soon, Black women and bigotry and transphobia, because unfortunately, there's recently been a huge uptick in Black women thinking that transphobia is not anti-Blackness and that transphobia isn't also part of misogyny and trans-misogyny, that anti-Blackness and transphobia have the same daddy and mama. Listen, I think one thing that sucks is like it's hard to try to tell people that no one speaks for their group. Even when you're marginalized, people forget that like white supremacy is the system that employs everyone, not just white people. It's a hard convo to have. Like when we talk, like think about it. When all of us people of color talk about whiteness, so loud. Think about how quiet the convo starts to get as we start to be more pointed. When people who are deep dark skin start talking about colorism, think about how quiet the room gets, and not out of like respect, not out of desire to hear more. Like that's not what's happening. And so I just want us to consider, like, sometimes like people are like, I don't know if I can go with you because I actually have a very broad idea of this group of people, and what you're telling me is not fitting in with my desires to subjugate them. And so, again, I want us to just consider that there's going to be ways that the master is wanting you to do what he wants you to do. I know it's not an easy combo to have, but it's one that I'm invested in because, again, I am a trans person. I don't necessarily expect everyone to understand what transness all means. I want to be candid that I don't know all the words and vernacular, but I know enough to describe myself. And I'm grateful that I have, I kept on thinking deeper after I thought that I may be a man, after I thought that I may be wanting to call myself Trent or Quincy. Those things weren't a psyop. Those were real things that happened. It's called experimenting with gender. It's called experimenting with chosen names. Sometimes I've had a few chosen names, and I'm hoping people hold that, like, when you are born, someone looks at you and decides this is your name. That's beautiful if it fits you. If you're happy, if you're comfortable, that's great. Some of us got a couple names to call ourselves, and I'm grateful that I've had the chance to do that, and some of you may too. This is not to say if you don't choose your name, there's something wrong with you or you shouldn't like your name. No. Some of us were named after perfume. Some of us were named after products. Some of us were named after someone that we don't like. Some of us were named by people we don't like. All types of reasons for people to change their name, but I hope people hold that, like, changing your name isn't the only part of being a trans person or even the most important part. Some of us genuinely just want to call ourselves something different because what we've been called wasn't what we chose. And I think some people don't want to hold, unfortunately, that some of you, when you were born, someone looked at you and said, this one's a girl. They didn't do any tests. They don't know about internalized ovaries. They don't know if you're actually intersex. They don't know. There are some people that are intersex that go throughout their whole life thinking that they're a girl because their family thought it would be easier for them to think they were a girl too. And later in life, they have to come to the conclusion that they're not a girl through some sort of medical situation. Like there was a woman who found out she was intersex and wanted to continue living her life as a woman, and was unfortunately having some issues when it came to reproduction. She wanted to have a baby and it wasn't possible. And all the tests they were doing wasn't saying anything was quote unquote wrong with her. But she found out that she actually didn't have I want to say she didn't have a womb. Yeah, she didn't have a womb. Everything looked cis. She did not have a womb. She had internalized testes. This is not rare. There are more intersex people than we know because no one tests for intersex unless you happen to be a intersex person trying to get pregnant and you have the money to invest in that kind of medical labor. I'm hoping people will hold that some of you, it was easier for someone to say you're a girl now. It is sad, it is, but now that she knows that, she can find other ways to have her child, but she also is now fighting for the gender inclusion of all of us. She's now realizing how important it is that her looking like a white woman and being intersex that can aid in a conversation about transphobia. Again, there are going to be people who are unfortunately uninformed. They've been listening to people talk about trans people in a way that's been sensationalizing. And much like if you watch enough episodes of Cheaters, enough episodes of Cops, you can really start to think that every man is going to cheat on you, and you can start to think that every black man is a criminal. Again, it really depends on where you're getting your news, but you can start to believe that everything is going to happen that you're seeing in this microcosm. And so I want us to consider when we're being two fish swimming in a little pool, swimming in a little pond. Some of us still think men bad, women good, even though women can harm just like men. Some of us are still thinking if we see someone who's not white, they're going to be our friend. Unfortunately, some of us are still going to have to figure out that we can't just look at people and think we know that they're with us. They're not. And we also can't look at people and think we know something. We can't. And so I want to just finish off by saying that I saw a conversation unfolding where this white woman was being misgendered. And a bunch of women were like, oh, well, she's not a real trans, so this isn't really transphobia. And it's like, no, it's still transphobia, but it's not just happening to women, to trans people. And much like anti-blackness isn't just happening to black people, the rest of us aren't dismantling it. And so it's going to continue to trickle on down, but it's been doing that. White supremacy has always harmed everyone, even white people. Transphobia harms cis people. Like thinking that like you're superior or you're better, or it harms you because now you have to perform that forever. You have to perform superiority. Notice when white people perform superiority, what does that look like? Just think deeply, please. What does it look like when someone thinks they're better than you? What do they do to lie to themselves by hurting you? What do they do to reaffirm that they're better? How do they show us that they're actually really pathetic? Again, it's the ways that some people won't see it, but just the same way that some light-skinned people, some of us really need colorism. We really need that system that says we're so beautiful. We're so some of us really need that system. White people, cis people, some of you need the system that tells you you're better. Some of you need the system to hide the trans people. Some of you need that. And I want you to consider that like you can get caught up being oppressed and being an oppressor. It happens to the best of us, honestly. Doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you're not looking deeply enough at who's harming you. The master is masterful, bitch. Please, please. Right. And that's another layer to this. It's like I, as a trans person, have absolutely been transphobic. Like, think about it. There are black people who operate with white supremacy as their standard of practice. No one is exempt automatically from giving into these systems. But I absolutely remember talking to a friend recently. We were talking about Amanda Seals, and I remember saying, like, I remember what it was like back online, being a lighter skinned person, feeling like I'm armed with black Politico, no weapon against me shall prosper. I was so loud about anti-blackness. I very much failed to engage with my own internalized anti-blackness. And even still now, there's so many more moments where I should probably be sitting and reflecting, and I don't. And so I want to be candid. Like, I'm not looking for anyone to be perfect or be the best. I don't think that's possible, right? Like, doesn't seem possible. I don't think we're gonna win colonization, right? We're not gonna win white supremacy. So I feel like I gotta stop operating like there's a this or a that, a us or a them. It's not. We're in the end game, bitch. We're in the fucking end game, and we really are at a point where all of the fucking systems of fucking oppression are converging at once. And some of us are really thinking, oh, well, I'll just go stand over here. I won't get hit. Mm-mm. It's not that time. You really have to be willing to like be nuanced in your thinking and beholding that there's a lot of things that are true at the same time. And it's a lot. I pray everyone here is able to get some good rest. I pray you're able to get some good snacks. I pray you're able to focus on telling people, no, I need to rest. Please, Virgo season about to be a lot. I already feel it. I got a headache already, bitch. I have a headache tomorrow for real. Cause it's feeling, ooh, it's feeling like I can see all the motherfucking lines and how they're connecting, but it's so hard to talk to people who don't, but they still want to talk. And it's like, what do you want to talk about? They so chatty, but won't read. And it stresses me out because it's like, do we gotta do a GIF? Is there a TikTok, you know? Like that's where I'm at. I'm trying to find like videos that are like ways to respond to fucking nonsense because I can't be telling everybody, I can't be yelling in these comments. I can't be fighting. I'm gonna let the video say, I want my fave to get a click. That's where I'm at. But see, that's where some people are living right now. Like some people are really standing on the sidelines thinking that that's going to make it better or that they're going to be able to make it out. And it's awkward because it's like there's no making it out. I think that's the scariest part about all of this and why I'm just at a point where it's like, just so many of us are trying our fucking best. And meanwhile, there's a revolution. Man. I just really hope y'all take care of yourselves for real, because wow, like the way mm, yeah, Virgo season just got me really like it's so funny the way that this one creator defines Virgo season. They're like Virgo season is very much that's not correct. And it's so funny because it's like unfortunately that is the whole energy this Virgo season. It's just feeling like that is not correct. And like again, just all the work that comes into knowing what is correct. Like you actually have to like know what you're talking about to tell anyone that something's not right. And so again, this is going to be a hard time for some of us because you're going to know that it's not correct, but can you say it? Are they going to bop you? Are you safe to say this is incorrect? But also, if it's incorrect, can we offer anything other than that? Like, just I want y'all to just consider when you really can't offer anything other than it's fucked. And that's how I'm gonna leave you. Because sometimes that's the full sentence. It's fucked. Anyways, I don't know why I kiss my fingers, bitch. That's my new outro, I guess. That's what we're doing now. It's an era.